the rankings in the Draft Dominator. As always, everything goes from this wrench icon, which is always your window into the calculations and methodology of the Draft Dominator. One of the things you're able to do here is create a new profile for your rankings. So all a rankings profile is, in essence, is a collection of settings. And those settings are going to allow you to move players up and down the list. And it's going to allow you to do that in a number of different ways. So you've got projection optimism and strategy, and these are factors that I've spoken about in other videos. Weekly weights we've also covered already, and the two I want to concentrate here on are edit players, which allow us to get one player and move them up or down, and position adjustments, which allow us to get a whole position, say quarterbacks or wide receivers, and move them up or down. One quick note, if you do want to store different sets of settings on different profiles, you can switch profiles and add new profiles from this drop down here. So let's try and move all the wide receivers down because we just don't think they should be as highly valued. We had a few on our list before, and now you can see those wide receivers have disappeared a long way down the list. And sometimes it's just a case of fine tuning, just moving players or positions up or down until we get them exactly where we want. We've also got a reset button there. The other way that you can move positions up or down is a feature that's new for this year that we've ported over from the Draft Dominator Classic tool, which is the ability to edit VBD baselines. Now, if you don't know what that means, our suggestion is don't worry about it. If we tell you, if we might advise you on our support desk to use that if it's the right solution for a particular problem. But if you want to move baselines around, that's your way of doing it. The only note there is to make sure that you've got a profile specific to the league you're using, and also that if you move a baseline up for a position, that'll move the rankings for those players down. Likewise, if you move a baseline down, the rankings for those players will go up. You've got two different types of baselines you can move around. The worst starter baseline, that will affect rankings at that position for all players who will be fantasy starters. And then you've got worst bench baselines, and those will affect rankings at that position for all the other players who probably won't week to week start in your fantasy leagues. Lastly, we're going to have a look now at how to move one player up or down the rankings. So we're going to do that from the edit ranking screen. Got a list of players here. You can find the player that you've got a hot take on that you want to move them up or down. Let's say we think Mike Evans is going to be a top 3 wide receiver this year. We can select him here. And then we get this metered view where we can drag this left or right. And you'll see his projections here changing. So if we move him down, that's gone to 214. And we move him up a bit, that's at 222. The black high line there is the original Footballguys projection. Every other line is another player somewhere in the rankings. So you notice there are 3 players bunched up together here. You can see them all on 226 points. And if we skip past them, Mike Evans goes up above them in the rankings, and we can carry on moving him in there and settle him in just between Davante Adams and Julio Jones. And we can do the same for his upside projection as well. When we return to the cheat sheet, we're then going to see Mike Evans in our cheat sheet there, settled in just below Davante Adams and Julio Jones.